The wine du jour. Mike Miner outdid himself with this date with bacon wrapped around it on this salad is just outstanding with this Moscato. Pink Moscato, I might add. You know, before we went to break, you mentioned, Randy, that Moscato and how many acres you have of it and so on and so forth. But what's the philosophy of Barefoot? I know it's a little bit unique because they're very committed to what they do. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. 22 years ago, when I started working for Barefoot, our founder, Michael Houlihan, said to me, "I'm sorry, we have no money for advertising." And I said, "Well, you have a whole warehouse full of wine. I think the wine speaks for us, and we'll donate that to nonprofits, and we'll get people aware of the wines, and we'll build a clientele based on the fact that we care about the same issues that they care about." And so this year, Barefoot will donate to over 3,000 benefits for nonprofits, helping them raise over $30 million. So
wow.
the winery took my little idea and made it very, very big.
But you come from a marketing background too, so this was something that's just natural for you to think. Is that true?
Yeah, you know, the wine really speaks for you very well. So my goal was always to get as many people trying it as possible.
Right.
So, and that's the great thing about wine is sharing it with friends, and it's also most nonprofits need wine and champagne for their fundraising. So.
Well, I tell you can't do anything better than that. If you ever look at the logo of Barefoot, it's a foot, literally. And of course, it doesn't have a shoe on it, so I guess it's barefoot. Amazing how that works. But they've got so many great things that they use to help promote. The idea is, and the same idea I feel as well, is that you should try something new. So if you don't know about Barefoot Bubbly, go to your local store. It's going to be available somewhere around your neighborhood, no matter where you are, and try a bottle. And it doesn't make any difference which one you try, unless if you're kind of new to the wine tasting, you probably want things a little bit on the sweet side. Pick up, if you have a choice, an extra dry. If you're into wine a little bit more and you're not so interested in sweet, you're looking for something that has more body and a little bit drier, try the Brut. Or if you want to pair it with something unique, then all you have to do is pick like a pink Moscato or the new Moscato coming out shortly and try one of those. That's and then don't forget Pinot Grigio. Everybody in the world loves Pinot Grigio because you're going to run out of things to drink if you don't have Pinot Grigio in Italy when it comes to white wine. I have to say, Mike Miner coming into the room. Mike, can we get you over here before we go off the air? We're almost finished. Yeah, nice hand for Mike Miner. Didn't he do a beautiful job? Say, I want to ask you a couple questions, Mike, before we go, because we only have about 2 minutes.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
First of all, how long have you been with Border Grill?
I've been with Border Grill for about 9 years now.
Wow. Getting used to it, are you?
Yeah, a little bit. Starting to.
Yeah, that's a good thing. How many people you have in the kitchen with you?
We've got about 55 employees that work in the back of the house. We've got about a little over 100 that work in the front of the house.
There you go. So you don't realize how many people it takes to make something this great available to anybody that comes into the restaurant. And I mentioned earlier that this is a 2-story restaurant. That just means that there's a lot of walking going on when it comes to food service, but at the same time, there's a lot of availability. So if you've got a party or if you've got a celebration of some kind, they can call you and make reservations for a celebration.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got a giant facility, which is makes it fun to produce big parties and do all kinds of special events. We do tequila dinners down here. When summertime's open, we open up all these glass windows. It's really nice to have the patio. You're overlooking the lazy river, which is incredible.
Yes,
one of the largest wave pools in the country. It's just a great place to be.
Unbelievable. Well, I have to tell you, I want to thank you for listening to Wines du Jour, America's #1 syndicated wine radio show. We're on the air each week at this very same time, and if you've enjoyed the broadcast, tell everyone you know. Want to know more about my favorite subjects? Log on simply to leskincade.com or visit Facebook or Twitter for all the current updates. I want to thank you very much for having us here at Border Grill. And I want to thank Randy Arnold and his sidekick, the lady that made this all possible, Kelly Conrad for coming down from Modesto and bringing these sparkling wines, champagnes, and all the food that the chef put together. I want to thank my broadcast engineer, Jeremy Knight, the Asian TV and High Definition for making television in Las Vegas and literally all over Asia happen. Thank you for choosing and listening to Wines du Jour from the left coast, from the east coast, and from all around the world on the internet, from television as well, from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Les Kincaid. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on Wines du Jour.